Right now, as you are watching this, one of the most powerful women in Hollywood is completely unreachable by phone. And the person trying to reach her is not a journalist, not a tabloid reporter, not some anonymous source from a palace corridor. It is the woman she personally recruited, the woman she financially exposed, the woman who is now reportedly considering going straight to the press if she does not get answers. And that press is already watching. Let me be absolutely clear before we go any further. What is happening to Meghan Markle right now is not a bad week. This is not a rough patch. According to sources, reports, and one of Hollywood's most respected trade publications, what we are watching is a full, multi-directional collapse arriving from every angle simultaneously. And I want to walk you through every single piece of it, because by the time we get to the end, you will not believe how all of this connects. Let us start in Australia, because that is where the story begins, and honestly, where the situation is at its most visually spectacular. According to reports, Meghan Markle was set to headline what was being marketed as a luxury women's wellness retreat, the kind of polished, aspirational event that sounds perfectly designed for someone attempting to rebrand as a lifestyle guru. Tickets were reportedly being sold at $3,000 per person. $3,000. For that entry price, you might reasonably expect your own room, perhaps a welcome experience that at minimum does not feel like a budget hotel booking. What did that $3,000 allegedly get attendees? According to circulating reports, a twin room shared with a complete stranger at the Intercontinental Hotel, a perfectly respectable property, but one where a quick online search reportedly reveals nightly rates of approximately 320 Australian dollars for two people. You do not need a finance degree to understand how embarrassing that gap is. But here is where the story goes from awkward to genuinely extraordinary, because it is not just the pricing that raises questions. The woman reportedly hired to organize this event, Meghan's reintroduction to the public arena, is, according to reports, a woman named Gemma O'Neill, who allegedly owes approximately 778,000 Australian dollars to the government. Her company, sources claim, has financially collapsed, and the government is reportedly seeking to seize her apartment. This is the person selected, according to reports, to run a high-end luxury retreat for the Duchess of Sussex. No vetting, no background checks, and here is the detail that really sticks. Sunshine Sachs, Meghan's established PR team, reportedly had absolutely nothing to do with this arrangement. So how does something like this happen? According to sources, the answer involves a man named Marcus Anderson, described as Meghan's fixer with connections to Soho House, who allegedly arranged this entire event independently, without consulting Sunshine Sachs, without conducting due diligence on the organizer, and this is the part that reportedly has people in the Sussex camp furious, without, sources claim, Prince Harry even wanting Meghan involved in this Australian visit at all. Reports suggest Harry viewed the Australian trip as his own separate moment, his own opportunity distinct from the broader Meghan Markle brand operation. According to those same sources, Marcus Anderson used his own money to ensure she was included anyway. The result? Harry's personal engagements are now overshadowed by yet another scandal attached to her name, and he is reportedly not pleased about it. And now, right on cue, when things get messy, Meghan has reportedly gone silent. Gemma O'Neill reportedly cannot reach her. Marcus Anderson has reportedly gone dark as well. If you have followed this story at all over the past several years, this pattern will feel familiar. She is alleged to have cut off her father, gradually distanced herself from longtime friends as their usefulness waned, stepped away from the royal family, and now, according to reports, she appears to be doing the same to the woman she allegedly brought into this situation. But here is the twist that makes this genuinely compelling. Gemma O'Neill, according to sources, is not planning to disappear quietly. She is reportedly threatening to speak to the press if Meghan pulls out. And this creates what I can only describe as a genuinely impressive trap of her own construction. If Meghan shows up to this event, the pricing scandal is already public, the organizer's alleged financial ruin is already public, and the whole enterprise carries a distinctive scent of desperation. If she cancels, Gemma reportedly talks, and there are few things more consequential in public relations than a financially distressed person who allegedly has documentation, nothing left to protect, and a press corps that is already paying attention. Now, this situation also brings in another name worth mentioning, Amy Griffin, a woman who, according to reports, married into considerable wealth and built influence from that platform, is currently reportedly being sued for allegedly plagiarizing a close friend's personal story in a best-selling book. The connection to Meghan? According to reports, Meghan attended a gathering at Griffin's Hamptons home, and the two are socially linked. I'm not drawing conclusions here. I'm noting a pattern that keeps emerging around Meghan Markle's orbit. Story after story of people in her social circle involved in allegations of deception, financial irregularity, or legal proceedings. At a certain point, the pattern becomes the story itself. But as significant as the Australia situation is, it may not even be the most consequential thing happening to Meghan Markle right now. Because while the retreat was imploding, Variety magazine published an investigation, and I need you to understand what Variety actually is, because this matters enormously to the weight of what comes next. Variety is not a gossip website. It's not a tabloid with an agenda. It's not a British outlet that Meghan can credibly dismiss as culturally biased against her. Variety is the trade publication of the Hollywood entertainment industry. It has operated since the earliest days of cinema itself. When Variety publishes an investigation, the most powerful decision makers in entertainment read it that same morning. It shapes careers, it shapes deals, it shapes the entire architecture of how the industry perceives people. And what Variety reportedly published about Meghan Markle and Netflix is, by any reasonable measure, devastating. According to multiple insiders, the mood inside Netflix regarding the Sussexes can be summarized simply. According to sources quoted in the piece, the sentiment is one of finality. But the investigation goes considerably further than a simple business breakdown. Multiple insiders told Variety that in meetings, both virtual and in person, Meghan has allegedly behaved as though Hollywood is a space she owns by right. According to those sources, she has talked over Harry, interrupted him mid-sentence, and redirected conversations away from his contributions. Sources describe a specific physical gesture, a deliberate touch to his arm or thigh, as a signal that he should step back and let her handle the room. Anyone who has spent time watching the two of them in public settings will likely recognize exactly what is being described here. These are not observations from anonymous internet accounts. These are professional assessments from experienced industry executives who have spent decades inside the entertainment business, offered in the context of actual commercial meetings with one of the most powerful streaming companies on earth. Meghan's legal team responded to the Variety investigation by labeling the reporting misogynistic. The word came quickly, reflexively, as a deflection, as it tends to when the substantive defense runs thin. Harry, for his part, reportedly stated the characterization was categorically false. Harry, bless him, we've all seen the footage. Meanwhile, Netflix is reportedly sitting on approximately $10 million worth of as-ever products. The teas, the baking mixes, the lifestyle goods, the jam that was meant to establish Meghan as America's answer to a refined domestic brand. According to reports, the inventory became so unwanted that Netflix reportedly began distributing it free of charge to employees, placing it on folding tables in office common areas. $10 million worth of product that nobody apparently wanted. That's not a disappointing product launch, that's a category-level collapse. And reports had already emerged about the internal atmosphere inside the Sussex production office, staff departures, a working culture described in terms one would not readily associate with a wellness and lifestyle brand. The Variety investigation also reportedly addressed Meghan's relationship with Netflix co-CEO Ted Sarandos, a relationship she is said to have personally cultivated, attending high-profile events together in what appeared to be a deliberate strategy to build an alliance at the very top of the company. According to the investigation, Sarandos allegedly reached a point where he would not take a call from Meghan unless a lawyer was present. Netflix officially denied this particular claim, but here's what matters regardless of the denial. That detail is now in print, in Variety, attributed to sources inside the company. The fact that it exists in that publication tells you something significant about the current state of that relationship, whatever the official statement says. Now, let's talk about Tom Bower. For anyone unfamiliar with his work, understand this carefully. Tom Bower is one of the most formidable investigative biographers operating today. He has written about Richard Branson, Tony Blair, and some of the most litigious, powerful figures in British public life. Not one of them has successfully taken him to court. Not one, because Tom Bauer verifies his reporting and his publishers do not commit to print without legal confidence in what they are publishing. His new book is titled Betrayal: Power, Deceit, and the Fight for the Future of the Royal Family, and according to reports, Harry and Meghan are reportedly deeply unsettled by its contents. Unsettled enough, sources claim, that they responded publicly to excerpts published in the Times of London, which, as anyone who has dealt with media disputes will recognize, is about the least effective strategy imaginable when you want a story to stop circulating. By responding, they amplified it. They made the excerpts more widely read. They effectively promoted the book of the man they were attempting to discredit. What does the book reportedly allege? Several things, but two stand out. First, according to the reporting, Queen Camilla, the king's wife and a woman who has known this royal family intimately for decades, allegedly confided to a close friend that Harry has been, in her words, brainwashed by Meghan. That's a word with considerable weight when it comes from a person in that position. And before anyone rushes to frame the language as simple bias, consider what we have actually observed over the past several years. The man